Hello, my beautiful minions. Here I am, back from the surgery. I wanted to do this video earlier, but I just couldn't do it. I had no energy left after the surgery, and when I arrived, and I needed an entire day to sleep, I was completely knackered. And then on the next day, I was feeling actual pain in my belly for quite some time. Only today now I'm able to record something. No, it's more of a status update than anything else. I wanted to comment on the new stuff that happened this week. There has been quite a few really troubling events, but I just couldn't be bothered. And besides, there's still a few things I need to debunk on a few of those things that happened this week. If I feel like it, I'll do a video about it. How the surgery went, if you are asking. Well, it went okay. It's the only problem is after I wake up, which happens to every time I do a surgery, which is 2 for 2 right now. Is that I have problems breathing afterwards. My nose gets blocked, or I get way too much mucus on my esophagus and throat and nose, and it becomes really difficult to breathe. But everything else went okay. I'll say that it was an interesting place, and it wasn't as bad as expected. Not American standard, not in the same standard that you see as in an American hospital. Then again, this is also a private hospital, so but better than the public shitholes in here. The interesting bit is that when you go take a shower there, you only have 4 temperatures: the hot, very hot, extremely hot, and burn the fat boy hot. It took me a while to finally figure out that you had to leave the shower on the extreme low temperature for at least 5 minutes before I could take a shower on a relatively cold water. Well, with that apart, the nurses, they seem to follow the national motto or the national thought pattern, in that they don't really want to work, or they don't care about quality, or they don't care about earning money, because once you press the nurse button, instead of them coming right away, or at least on the first 5 minutes, they don't. The machines will start beeping and stuff beeping, and they still won't come. I remember pressing the button once, and they took 30 minutes to show up, and was nearly peeing myself, and I couldn't even do anything. You can't even stand up on the bed with so much pain, because that was a freshly cut belly. My innards got poked. Oh, but at least on the positive side, they've recorded the surgery by a camera, but you don't actually see the surgeons, you just see my insides. If anyone is interested, I can play some footages on my next video. It's quite interesting. And he didn't stop there. He didn't stop at the surgery alone. He went and did my hernias too. Now I have to stay about 20 days using this little puppy. I call it Bob because it's a blob, and Bob, it sounds funny, like Mr. Bean when he says Bob, you know. It's actually a drain, and the interesting bit is that blood and fat and clotted and stuff comes out of it too. It was supposed to only be 5 days because of the surgery itself of the gastric bypass wasn't so hard. But since I did a hernia and the hernias were massive, I'll have to stay extra days with it. At least that's the doctor said or expects to happen. But by the time I go to the appointment, if the drain itself is fine, then they'll take it out. I've been doing my usual exercises to get back my lung capacity before the surgery, and it takes a toll a little, especially after you just did the surgery. You really struggle putting the 3 balls up on the instrument. Let me explain that. It's well, I don't have it nearby and I don't feel standing up just to find it. It's a breathing toy that has 3 little balls, and you have to suck the air and lift those 3 little balls on each funnel or each cylinder. Sorry, English failing. On each cylinder, and there are 3 difficulties, and the 3rd one I still can't do it. But when I just came out of surgery, the easiest one, I could barely get it halfway up. It took me a while to get it up there. You know, that's what she said. Now that the surgery is done, I'll have to wait and see, follow my diet closely, especially because now it's liquid, and for some reason I'm fucking craving meat like a madman. Thank goodness I never came up with the idea of going vegetarian, even though I think the entire concept of vegetarianism is idiotic and stupid. But the cravings for meat is crazy. Right now, the only thing I can think of every time I feel hunger, it's some tasty meat, or a taco, or an empanada, or a burger, or anything with meat. It's really weird craving. I never felt something like this before, but it's manageable. I only have to eat a Jello. It's not a good substitute, but at least it fills up the empty space, and I stop thinking about it. I won't be able to eat certain foods for at least 6 months or more. For example, thinking pizza or anything like that, and will be only 1 slice or half a slice, depending on how big the pizza is. But everything else I should expect at least to eat pure foods in the next month or so, or in the next 2 months. Should be switching to solids. Well, solid as in puree food or in puree state, but solid itself, like a small chunk of meat, that will take slightly 2 months, I think. No, it was 1 month with liquid, the 2nd month, yeah, more or less like that. And it's not easy. It's really not. Having the gastric bypass surgery, it's not really a cure for the obesity. It's not. It's simply a very huge helping hand in helping you control your weight and stop eating too much. But you also need to start doing your diet, exercises, and all this stuff. And it's not easy to the body as well. You have a chance, if you fail, you have the chance of going back to the weight you were before, getting back to being fat again. And that's really not something I'm looking forward to. And from these couple of days that I've been doing this liquid diet since the surgery, mine was a bit different from Boogie to 988, in which he stayed on liquid diet for at least 2 weeks before the surgery. Mine, I didn't get into a strict diet or anything up until 8 o'clock before the day of the surgery. but with the last couple of days doing liquid diet, I've lost a lot of weight, or at least enough for me to feel this shirt to be a kind of loose compared to what it was last time. Sorry about the noise outside. I've tried really hard to get a quieter environment, but before this noise, I had a truck and I couldn't record anything. I had to wait the truck to stop making truck noises. But anyway, this is it. I hope I'll be doing another video soon this week. Or if not, I'll probably do it next week because there's some guests coming, and with guests, it means I won't have time to do this stuff, and I don't like when they are nosy. So, see you soon, and toodles! Ta-da!